top 8 tall pearl tiaras still surviving in royal collections. She wore it only 13 times, and yet every appearance made headlines. Another was so heavy it forced an empress to leave a state dinner early. One glittering giant travelled from England to Malaysia, while another outshone a royal wedding said to eclipse even Princess Elizabeth's. And one? It vanished into private hands for decades, only to find its way back home to the Louvre. These aren't just tiaras, they're towering monuments of pearls and diamonds, carrying the secrets, struggles and triumphs of the royals who wore them. And today we're diving into the top 8 tall pearl diamond tiaras still surviving in royal collections. Queen Mary's lover's knot tiara. Did you know there's a tiara so iconic it's been worn by 4 of the most celebrated royal women in modern history, yet it once gave one of them terrible headaches? We're talking about Queen Mary's lover's knot tiara, a jewel worth an astonishing $135 million today. Princess Kate has worn it 13 times in public since 2015, while Princess Diana famously found it too noisy because of the swinging pear-shaped pearls that tinkled as she moved. Inspired by the famous Cambridge lover's knot tiara, Queen Mary wanted the original but couldn't inherit or purchase it. So in 1913, she went for the next best thing. She asked Gerard to create her own copy. Queen Mary adored the Edwardian style, but being a true jewellery lover and artist ahead of her time. At first, the tiara originally stood taller, crowned with upright pearls that once decorated the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. By 1934, Mary had those pearls removed and replaced with a sleek row of diamonds, giving the piece the graceful silhouette we know today. She wore it proudly in many portraits, before passing it to her granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II. Unlike Mary, Elizabeth never truly bonded with it, wearing it only on rare occasions before eventually passing it to Princess Diana in 1981 as a lifelong wedding gift loan. Diana, despite suffering headaches from its weight, adored the tiara and wore it at countless high-profile events and many portraits. After her separation, it returned to the vaults, where it remained hidden for more than 2 decades before making reappearance in 2015, this time on the head of Princess Catherine, making her fall in love with it forever. Wore 13 times, so what makes it so irresistible? The pearl sunburst tiara. Despite being show-stopping and regal, the tiara once forced its wearer to leave a state dinner early because of its weight, making it a reminder that even the grandest jewels can come with a price. Meet the pearl sunburst tiara of Japan. The jewel Empress Masako has made her signature in recent decades. Originally debuted by Michiko Shoda when she married Crown Prince Akihito in 1959, this tiara was gifted as part of a full parure, including a mirrored necklace and a matching brooch. She wore the complete set soon after the marriage, most notably on her very first official visit abroad in 1960 to the United States for the White House dinner, marking the tiara's dazzling international debut. But it wasn't just Michiko's beauty or diplomatic poise that caught attention. People noticed the weight and presence of this piece. Ruth Buchanan, wife of the US Chief of Protocol, recalled that during that White House state dinner, Michiko said the tiara was so heavy it gave her a headache, especially since she'd never worn it before. Design-wise, it's a fringe or sunburst style set with extremely thin, even diamond rays that form a smooth top line, a silhouette known in royal jewellery circles as a kokoshnik style. 15 pearls punctuate the peaks at intervals, softening what might otherwise be a rigid, radiant shape. When Michiko became empress, the tiara was reserved specially to be later passed on to her daughter-in-law, Masako, who often wore the pearl sunburst tiara for state visits and formal banquets. How can a tiara be so breathtakingly beautiful that even its occasional discomfort is no problem for the empresses who wear it? Württemberg ornate pearl tiara. If you ever had the chance to peek inside a royal jewel vault, whose collection would you want to see? For many, the answer is simple: Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, and among her treasures stands the Württemberg ornate pearl tiara. Have you ever wondered what makes a tiara so special that it's reserved only for reigning queens? This one has passed through generations, created in 1897 for a young Queen Wilhelmina just before her enthronement, then worn by Queen Juliana and later claimed by Queen Beatrix. Though it technically belongs to the Dutch Royal Family Foundation, Beatrix kept this tiara reserved for herself during her reign, just as the Queen Mother once held back her famous Burmese ruby tiara. The tiara itself is a masterpiece, crafted by Royal Van Kempen and Begeer, set with sparkling diamonds, 35 round pearls, and 11 dramatic pear-shaped pearls from the Orange Nassau collection. But would you dare to wear something so tall and spindly? Queen Beatrix did, famously in its full version twice, on her wedding day in 1966 and again on a 1982 state visit to the UK. On other occasions, she preferred a lighter version, skipping the towering pearl toppers. Since King Willem Alexander's accession, Queen Maxima has breathed new life into this dazzling jewel. Sometimes she wears it stripped down, sometimes with the 5 top pearls, sometimes with the 6 lower pearls, and occasionally in its most dramatic form, all 11 pearls gleaming in 2 perfect rows. What do you say? Too big or just right? Beauchamp Diamond Pearl Palmette Tiara. Did you know this enormous 19th century heirloom of the Ligon family now belongs to the former Sultana of Pahang, Malaysia, and is one of the grandest pearl and diamond tiaras still around? Featuring 3 pear-shaped hanging pearls set within an ornate Belle Epoque frame, this splendid tiara was among the Beauchamp family heirlooms gifted to Lady Lettice Grosvenor when she married the controversial 7th Earl Beauchamp in 1902. Their daughter-in-law, the fabulous Mona, Countess Beauchamp, wore the pearl and diamond tiara at a gala performance at Covent Garden during the French state visit in 1939, a moment that announced its full regal glory to the world. When the earldom became extinct upon the Earl's death, the tiara eventually was sold at auction after Countess Mona's passing. The buyer, Sultan Ahmad Shah of Pahang, for his new wife Sultana Kalsum, who was prevented from wearing the Pahang state tiara and thus adopted this dazzling alternative. Over the next 28 years, Sultana Kalsum wore the Beauchamp pearl and diamond tiara at countless events, birthday parties, galas, weddings. Usually perched low on her forehead, it has not been seen publicly since about 2019. This heavy and broad tiara remains surely a treasure in her collection. This heavy and broad tiara is surely a keep. Queen Maria Christina's loop tiara. Can you imagine receiving a tiara so grand it becomes one of the most iconic jewels in Spain? Meet Queen Maria Christina's loop tiara, the second largest tiara of the Spanish crown, and a wedding gift from King Alfonso XII to his bride Maria Cristina of Austria, back in 1879. This striking tiara is made up of upright diamond loops, each loop crowned with a round pearl, and pearls nestled in the centre of the loops too. Crafted by Francisco Marzo in 1886, right at the beginning of Maria Christina's 16-year regency, it's a design that screams elegance and height, literally. A piece meant to be noticed. The loop tiara is almost a hymn to pearls. Rising above each tall diamond arch sits a round, luminous pearl, like tiny glowing crowns topping every loop. Many of the loops also cradle smaller pearls at their centres, creating a rhythm of pearl on pearl that softens the brilliance of the diamonds. Here's something charming. After Queen Regent, her son King Alfonso XIII, hoping his wife Ina would wear the tiara, passed it to her, but she apparently didn't during her tenure. Why did Ina never wear it during her reign? Wanting the jewel to shine again, Alfonso XIII decided to gift it to his daughter-in-law, Maria de las Mercedes de Borbón y Orleans, as a wedding present in 1935 when she married Infante Juan, Count of Barcelona. And where did the tiara make its dazzling reappearance? At her wedding gala in Rome, of course, with the loop tiara praised once more for its lustrous pearls and imposing size. Loaned countless times to royal brides, the loop tiara found a new chapter after the Countess of Barcelona's death in 2000, when it was inherited by her daughter-in-law, Queen Sofia. Today it continues to grace the Spanish royal ladies, with Queen Letizia making her dazzling debut in the jewel at the 2018 state banquet for the Chinese state visit. Truly, the Spanish royal house remains the guardian of some of the world's finest pearls. The Musy tiara. One of the most versatile tiaras in the world, the Musy tiara can be worn in multiple ways. In fact, it boasts no fewer than 8 or 9 variations. Commissioned by Queen Margherita of Italy, famously known as the Pearl Queen, this dreamy and towering pearl tiara was inspired by a deeply personal event, the birth of her grandson. In 1904, Queen Margherita had the Musy tiara created to celebrate the arrival of Crown Prince Umberto, and she proudly wore it for the first time at his christening. Rather than ordering something entirely new, she sent a selection of her existing jewels to the Roman jeweller Musy, who transformed them into a masterpiece. The tiara features pearl button tops in an elaborate scrolled diamond frame, set on tremblant so they tremble and sparkle with every movement, and its genius lies in its adaptability. The pearls can be swapped out for diamond shells or large collet diamonds, worn with or without the arches, or reduced to just the arches for a sleek bandeau. It's a jewel that truly reinvents itself. The tiara was later inherited by her beloved grandson, Crown Prince Umberto, who gave it as a wedding gift to his bride, Princess Marie-José of Belgium. She famously debuted it at their wedding in the Pauline Chapel of the Palazzo del Quirinal with Pope Pius XI at the Vatican. It was on this occasion that the tiara captured the attention of jewelers and connoisseurs around the world. With its thick pearls and broad diamond frame, it had both drama and presence, and Marie-José took full advantage of its flexibility, wearing it in different variations throughout her life. Today, this massive tiara belongs to their son, Vittorio Emanuele, Prince of Naples, and is occasionally worn by his wife Marina, keeping this extraordinary jewel very much alive in the family's legacy. The Alba pearl and diamond tiara, one of the tallest and most romantic pearl tiaras in Europe, this masterpiece is easily among the most fascinating jewels of the Alba collection. Of naturalist inspiration, it dazzles with large laurel crowns and floral bouquets, all set on a geometric base of twisted bands and bows and crowned with 7 impressive pear-shaped pearls and 6 large diamonds. Believed to have come from Empress Eugénie, the tiara passed to the Duchess of Monroe, then by inheritance to her great-nephew Don Jacobo Fitzjames Stuart y Falco, and finally to his daughter, Dona Cayetana, Duchess of Alba. The tiara's most iconic appearance came in October 1947, when the young Cayetana wore it on her wedding day to Don Luis Martinez de Araujo. The celebration, which cost the equivalent of $2 million, became one of the most expensive private weddings in history. Society gossip at the time even claimed that her wedding completely outshone that of Princess Elizabeth of England and Prince Philip, held just a month later. And it's not hard to see why. Cayetana looked every inch the Duchess in her towering tiara. All her life she cherished this jewel, wearing it proudly as both a tiara and, at times, as a necklace. So personal was it to her that she never allowed anyone else to wear it, not even her daughters-in-law. The only exception came in 1998, when she lovingly passed it down for her daughter Eugenia's wedding. Since then, it has remained out of sight, and we may have to wait until another grand family moment, perhaps the wedding of her granddaughter. Empress Eugénie's pearl and diamond tiara. Lastly, this tiara might just be the most famous of the surviving French crown jewels, or at the very least it's certainly one of the best known, especially considering it's not even worn by a royal anymore. Imagine that. The piece was made around 1853 by Gabriel Lemonnier, commissioned by Napoleon III to celebrate his marriage to the glamorous Eugénie de Montijo, and what a showstopper it is. An incredible 212 pearls and 1,998 diamonds sparkle across its frame. Even more fascinating, the pearls and diamonds weren't newly acquired. They actually came from the French state treasury, repurposed from jewels that once belonged to Empress Marie-Louise, the second wife of Napoleon I and the Duchess of Angoulême. The design is breathtaking. Leafy diamond scrolls winding around rows of large pearls, crowned with upright pear-shaped pearls of graduated size. Talk about a statement piece. No wonder Empress Eugénie adored it. She even wore the tiara during a state visit to Windsor Castle in 1855, dazzling the British court. But history wasn't kind. After Napoleon III's defeat in 1870, Eugénie was forced into exile and, sadly, had to return the tiara to the French state to be eventually sold off in 1887. That decision scattered centuries of history into the private hands of Prince Albert I of Thurn and Taxis, who gave it as a wedding gift to his bride. For the next century, it remained in the Thurn and Taxis family. Princess Gloria von Thurn and Taxis gave the tiara one of its most iconic moments at her 1980 wedding, but it was later sold and eventually purchased by the Friends of the Louvre, who returned it to Paris, where it now rests alongside other recovered French crown jewels, finally back home. That's all for today. Before we go, let us know in the comments which pearl tiara is your favourite among the ones still in existence. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe for more royal jewel stories.